What's up, guys? The Gypsy back at it again. This is gonna be a prediction video of a fight that I was waiting for a very long time to happen. Canelo versus Bivol. A fight that I suspect that I didn't think Canelo would ever take that fight. First of all, I didn't think he would ever. I think he would have taken Biv over Bivol, but hats off to him for taking it. And on top of that, maybe he thinks he found a weakness in Bivol's armor or whatever it is. That's why he probably took this fight. But to be honest with you, there is no weaknesses. There's nothing that Canelo can do that can. How can I tell you this? Like the fight between Stevenson and what's his name, Valdez. That was a dead giveaway that Stevenson was gonna win. I don't know. I thought he was gonna KO him. My pick was Stevenson KOs 9 round. In the 9th round, stops him. TKOs. Oh, not like knockout, but like a TKO. That's what I was expecting. But it went 12 rounds. But it was an obvious victory that there's only one reason why that was an obvious victory. And just a short video, I'm gonna just say, so I'm gonna cut off, and then I'm gonna go to automatically to the Canelo versus Bivol situation, and how similar this fight, Stevenson Valdez, was similar to Canelo versus Bivol, is because of the fact of one specific reason: speed. That's it. Speed is the primary reason that Canelo will have a problem against Bivol. Skills, they're pretty much, equal, I would say. Even though, Canelo has so-called more experience in the professional game. But it's the speed. The speed of Stevenson was the major factor. And I will say more than just the major factor with Stevenson's case. It was skill and speed, defensively and all. But then again, he's so fast enough that he can easily adjust. He'll just make a miss, and you look at that as defense. He's just athletic enough. To do the job on Valdez. So that's another thing. Where does speed and skill differentiate at some point? Because if you can see a shot, because you're so much faster than the other guys. The only time when skill is it's speed instead of skill. Skill instead of speed is when you talk about timing. That's when the things change. You time it. You can already predict what the guy's gonna do next. You throw a 1-2, he's gonna go for a hook. You already know. You duck. And it's just a simple, thing like that. But the problem with Canelo versus Bivol is that the speed there's a huge speed gap. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. If you watch any one of Bivol's fights, and you watch any one of, and it's the consistency on top of that. Something like Errol Spence has. Errol Spence is a little more consistent, I probably would say. Nah, they're pretty much the same. Bivol and Errol, they're very consistent, but we're talking about a big dude. Forget Errol Spence challenging Canelo. We're talking about a big dude, he might hit just the same, or maybe even harder than Canelo, somewhere around that area. I'm not entirely sure about the power, but he can definitely take the shots of Canelo. That I can guarantee you. He won't knock out Canelo. I don't see that happening, but he might daze him. He might even drop him. with accumulation of punches. That'd be an amazing feat that no one's ever done. But if Canelo does that to him, there's no one that can stop. I'm just telling you right now, there's no one in the world that can stop Canelo. If this guy does not beat Canelo, you can forget about your Charlos and your Andrades and your whoever you have. No one's beating Canelo. This is the only dude, or Bev, if you're one of those just European fanboys, Bivol is the only guy, man. He is you can see some guy in the BDA channel mentioned a caller about how much he hits and how much he gets hit. He is in the plus side of how much he delivers shots. He delivers more shots than he takes shots. So he's the number one out of everyone in all divisions. So you can imagine how elite this guy is. And if this guy cannot pull off a 12-round decision, I know they're probably going to rob his ass. But I feel like if he does enough, they just can't. They probably give him a draw. And this fight might end up as a draw where obviously the clear victor is like Triple G's case. So the first one, even though he won by 1 round, he was the aggressor. He was the guy pushing the pace. And he was the one scaring the living shit out of Canelo. He should have won that fight. Even if you had it 8-4, 7-5, either way, it doesn't matter. He won that fight, or 9-3. I don't give a shit what you have. Canelo definitely didn't win that fight with Triple G. The first fight. I'm not talking about the second one. Anyways, but they gave it a draw. But I think with Bivol's case, he can do a bigger margin than that. A lot bigger margin. And this is not Ugas who shies away after getting hit. This is fucking thing. This is Bivol, man. If he gets hit, he gets more pissed and he throws more punches. This is not Kovalev, who's going to be too shy to get hit. An old washed Kovalev on top of that. Even the best of Kovalev would have never beaten Bivol. The Bivol I've seen from the beginning, he ain't going to beat that guy. Any version of Kovalev will never beat Bivol. He'll get outclassed, probably even stopped in certain cases. You know what I mean? And barely even touched. That's how good Bivol is. Sometimes he lets go. Sometimes near the end of the rounds, he the 10th round, 11th round, 12th round, he kind of like lets go and he gets hit a couple of times here and there. But it's just because he just wants to get hit. Because it's in some case, I told you, sometimes you need to get hit to be conditioned to get hit, and that's why he does these things. But he could have stopped Joe Smith. He didn't. He chose to use him as a punching bag. A lot of these fighters that he fights against, he chooses not to knock them out. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Something that Tyson Fury does in the heavyweight division, like against Safari, and because they're trying to get rounds in. And he chooses not to knock him out, and he chooses to, I won't say play it safe. This is not fucking Billy Joe Saunders that I picked last time. Billy Joe Saunders was 50-50 as long as he avoided that fucking shovel hook. And guess what? He got hit by that. This is not a worry with Bivol. Bivol has none of those concerns. He does not have those concerns in this fight. He can get hit with that shit and he'll still be fucking fine. But the thing is though, he ain't gonna get hit with that shit. He's going to avoid all the dangerous punches, and he's going to deliver all of them because he is like at least, I would say, hand speed, leg speed wise, he's about maybe 40% faster than fucking Canelo. Maybe 40 to 30, somewhere around that area. He is that much faster. If you watch the tapes, you'll see what I'm talking about. Canelo does not come in speed anywhere near Bivol's speed. And Bivol beats on big-ass dudes on a consistent basis. The guys that are on 175 are naturally bigger than him. Anyways, this video is going to cut off. My pick is a draw. With a clear, hopefully they give it to Bivol with a clear, obvious beatdown by Bivol. But if Canelo pulls it off, there's nothing. He is the king, pound for pound. I can't say anything about that guy anymore. He's the Gypsy King. Out. Nah, Gypsy. This is Gypsy, not Gypsy King. This is the Gypsy. Out, baby.